In this video, I will teach you how to change the belts on a Mars VFM series bill validator. To change the stacker belts, you'll need a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a small punch tool, some pliers, a hammer, and a roll of tape.
In order to get access to the stacker belts, remove the bill box, and you'll find your stacker belts right here. Then remove this bar by pushing the metal out on either side. Then you'll need to pry up these 3 tabs using your flathead screwdriver. And the same thing on the other side. Then pull out to remove the stacker frame from the rest of the stacker. Now, in order to keep this little tab from breaking, set your stacker frame on top of your roll of tape to keep the pressure off the tab. Next, remove these 2 screws. It is spring-loaded, so it will be pushing up as you're removing the screws. And remove this small piece and pull off your springs. Next, you need to remove these 2 small metal pins. So set the stacker frame on your roll of tape like this, and then use your punch tool and hammer to push the pin out on both sides. That will release a small white wheel. Make sure to take that out and set it aside. And same thing on the other side. Then put your stacker back onto your roll of tape and remove the 2 axles with wheels on the ends. And now your stacker belts are loosened and ready to remove. Now fold your new belt into a tip and push it through the hole. And then make sure the belt lays flat underneath the tab. Same thing on the other side. Push it through the hole. And lay the belt under the tab. Then you remove the tabs on your axle by pulling the wheels off, then pulling the tabs off, and then put the wheels back on to put your axle back in place in the belts. So put it through the belts, and then lay it flat. Then clip your tabs back on the axle. They'll fit into a specific spot. You'll be able to see it. And then the same thing with your second axle. Remove the wheels in order to remove the pins. Put the wheels back on. Slide the axle under the belts. And let it lay down into its place. and then put the tabs back on in their designated slots. Then you'll put your springs back into position on top of the tabs. Then put the plastic cover back on by lining the springs up with the holes in the plastic cover and pushing down and holding it there in order to put your screws back in. Put them in place and use your screwdriver to screw them in while holding the black cover down to keep the springs down. Then you'll need to put your small wheels and pins back in place, so take your wheel, loop it under the belt, and hold it in position. Now the pin has a rough side and a smooth side, so holding the wheel in place with one hand, insert the pin's smooth side first into the hole and through the center of the wheel. Then use your pliers to squeeze the pin all the way through the slot. And then do the same thing on the other side. Put the wheel under the belt. Take your pin smooth slide first through the hole, through the wheel. And squeeze the pin through with your pliers. Be sure to squeeze the pins all the way through so that it's smooth. Okay, and now the belts are changed, so you need to put the stacker frame back into the stacker. So lift up on the tab, push the stacker frame in between the metal pieces, and snap it into place. Then put your metal bar back in, and you're finished.